Amigos, what's up? Welcome back to our channel, Atrocities Upon Cities, where as always you see a progression of everyday jobs. Today you're going to get to see a great job on how to install a decomposed granite driveway. For starters, you get to see how we always get to win the edges. We make sure that we're 2.5, 3 inches underneath the cement to make sure that all the areas are going to get taken care of. You guys can see the borders here, that doors that open, and all these pavers that are going to be in our way, all the edges that we're going to have to be cleaning and different things that we're going to have to make sure that we do. We had to move a couple of these inches of dirt into the foundation wall, take a couple things with us, and different areas that you guys get to see that we're going to be cleaning out here. We're going to be leveling the back planter out there. We're going to be moving all these areas around. They did a great job helping us move things around and getting all these areas ready for us. So without the people that help, that things get going crazier or faster. I always tell you guys, when the owners are willing to help with us, all the jobs come out easier. So a great shout out to them for giving us the job and the trust to make sure that we ended up doing this job great. You guys can see that we're progressing as fast as we can. We're already moving as much of the rocks as that we can up. All this rock is going to help for drainage. This is one of the jobs that I recommended the owner not to use papers. There's so many misinformation about when to use paper, how to use paper on decomposed granite. Most people say you don't have to use it, just depending if you're going to use it for planters, if you're going to use it for driveways. It all depends on what you're going to be using it for and why their paper or the barrier is very important to use. So you guys can see how fast we're progressing. You can see the inches of dirt out here. We're already picking all these areas out, making sure that we progress. We'll be pushing this dirt back up and around to make sure we get the level and the slope that it's supposed to have. You guys can see I've been picking around all the edges to make sure we understand where the 2.5, 3 inches are followed. Usually it's easy if we just get the level off the cement and the level off the foundation of this retaining wall right here, and we know where our level stands and what slope we're supposed to be giving it. So we're able to just keep progress on this job. You guys can see all the edges are nice and picked. We're going to be moving all these pavers. You guys can see the continuance on how the piles are going to keep adding, how this dirt's going to be flipped over to the inside of this wall. The foundation has to be picked up right here and covered, so we have plenty of space to put the dirt. We had charged them for a haul fee, but we also charged them for 2 hours of planter work, so it worked out great for everybody involved that we made it look nice. And then you guys can see how fast we're also progressing. We've been putting water here and there to make sure that the areas are soft for the next day that I come. You can see I've been pushing this rock around, working all those holes that they've made with the tires before. We're making sure that we fill them up with rock, and then we compact the area before so we don't get any settling on the DG on the top. Anything that falls down is because of compacting. I've heard from some of the professionals out there, so I make sure that I compact and level as best as I can, so we making sure that everything looks great. Here's the progression. Already everything's happening so fast. We keep moving. You'll see how Paola will catch up to me picking out here, and how the areas we always make sure that we win the edges. We always got a shovel and a half towards the edges, giving it a slope. We'll be coming by with the DG soon. We're almost ready for these areas, so we'll continue on showing you how we go back and forth from front to back. You guys probably get tired of seeing the electrical boxes, but every time that we get back there, there's a different grade, there's a different area clean, and that's the way it works out here, fellas. We work around each other. Me and Paola are always working hard out here. We didn't need as much help on this job. Ron sent our ex-helper, Joel. You guys, some of them that follow us know him, but Joel did great out here. He helped us 1 hour to kill the DG pile that was already killing us. So you guys can see the progression again. Everything's looking good. They already hired us again for this install from us doing the sod on the right. So we'll go in again and show you how fast we're progressing. We took all those pavers out. We made a line. We're gonna fix the area for them. All those pavers weren't required before. Now that we have DG, everything's gonna start making sense. You guys can see that foundation right there and the walls getting picked up, and the planter, everything's getting filled up. We keep cleaning, we keep pushing things back, we keep watering to make sure that we're able to pick and do different things. So we'll continue on this great video, fellas. We'll go into a couple hyperlapses of what we do best and how we do it. So thanks for everybody that watches our channel, Atrocities Upon Cities. Let's continue. Amigos, what's up? Here it is, 40 skips of DG, 20 yards, a truck and trailer load. You guys can see the pile gets big. Oh, the easy parts right here we had already leveled, so we're just gonna start spreading where it's easy. You guys all remember me talking about no paper, so it looks great. Everything's starting to make sense. All these papers are gone, so we're gonna be spreading this DG back and forth. You guys can see the piles here ready to go. We've been filling this up still. There's no more gap there. It's looking great everywhere, so we're doing great. We're gonna keep progressing. We're back to the electrical boxes, fellas. One's already covered with the DG. You guys can see me spreading fast. It's easy when we're spreading off the pile. The hard part is filling up the wheelbarrow and walking it back to the back. So you guys will see how we fill them up. We had a challenge a couple days ago. I'll show you the video at the end again. It's a short 1 minute and 30-second video of me and Paola filling up the wheelbarrows, but you'll also get to see that in here a little up closer and a little more detail of how we do it. Paola did 1 minute and 4 seconds. I did 26 seconds, so it's a great timage. We did great out here. We continue to keep pushing. You guys can see there's an area right here where it's still gonna be high, and at the end we'll show you the surprise path that they gave and how I'm gonna be compacting it and different areas that we took care of. So you guys can tell right here Paola's a great shovel person, and she keeps shoveling everything nice and back to its original state, or to make sure she fills up the wheelbarrow all the way to the top so I can carry it to the back. And then I do the same. We just keep progressing back and forth. It must have took us about 60 wheelbarrows to 80 per 20 skips, so somewhere around 160 to 200 wheelbarrows, depending if I filled them all the way up to the top. I know I did more than 100, and then Joel came in and he did more than 20, so we gotta just keep counting. And when you guys see the video before, you guys can see the little waves of every time I dropped the pile, and there was a lot of little waves at the beginning. So different areas that we keep taking care of. You guys can see the way I fill it up. The bigger the shovel load, the less shovels you'll have to do, so the faster you do it, the less you'll have to work. There's different tips and tricks that you can do. You guys can see I don't move around from the pile. I stay in the same spot. Yeah, it might hurt your back if you do this for a couple years, but we don't do this on a daily basis, and when we do it, we do it all day. But we're so trained that nowadays it doesn't hurt us as much. We recover pretty quick, and we keep progressing. You guys can see right here we got about 10 skips left out of the 40. Actually, it looks like 20, so we got 20 skips left, and you guys can see that it's all looking a little smoother here. I leave a path in the middle so we're able to walk our wheelbarrow up, and you guys can see the little waves I was talking about earlier. That's every time I drop a DG load. I put 2 wheelbarrows on each side, a couple feet away from each other, to make sure that we have enough for the whole area. Then I'll come back and fill up the middle. If we don't have enough for the middle, it's okay, we put extra on the sides, but we had enough everywhere. You guys can see this is another high area that I'm gonna already start picking again, so let's watch it. Amigos, here we go, progressing like always, doing it, getting it done, and just how you guys see, everything's looking great out here. All the DGs making sense. We're getting rid of these piles. They're moving in fast. You can see me continuing to bring the DG. We covered an area that we didn't even talk about. I had told them if we had extra DG, I would run it up, and I had to make sure that I did it. We had plenty of DG, so I ran it up, fellas, and that's a good plus for us. Then they added a pathway at the end. I added $50 for that. It took me about an hour and a half, and kind of hurt myself a little, but hey, they already gave me the big job, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a small job for them and try my best. It wasn't a perfect path, but it was a great looking path, so that's all that matters, fellas. You know, we can make sure. I asked her if she wanted to buy different papers. She's no, use what we have. So that's how it works too. You know, some of the ones that I was using, they broke a little because they were old, but it was easy replacement since they had so many. So it was a great thing that we've done. You guys can see right here, all the DG is already covering all the areas. We quickly make sure that Joel had already gotten here by then. So he started doing wheelbarrows. Paola started leveling everything, and I was gonna start doing the brushing and the broom finishing, so we could get ready for water and compacting in different areas that we always make sure we take care of. So we'll show you of what it looks like now that all the DG is gone, and then how the sod is looking a little dry because of it. Just a little dry. I make sure I watered all day this day, and then I was here. You guys can see all the footsteps. Once we level this and compact it, all the footsteps disappear. You will no longer see footsteps. Sometimes when it rains really hard and you try to drive through it, if you didn't put enough or compact it right, it will create a little dip. But what you do is just come back, pour some more DG on it, and compact it again. You never just try to fill it up from another spot. You get another little bucket of DG from your bulk yard, and you come back in and you level it all off. You guys can see this nice little area that we added for them. I told them I'd fix the door so the dogs wouldn't scratch in there and mess it up for them. So you guys can tell that we make sure we slow it down here. We make sure we put water. I can't put too much water, if not the compactor will start stinking in. You gotta know how much water to put, just a little. If it starts puddling up, you're in trouble. I always tell people just leave it alone, come back tomorrow when the water dries up. But since this area didn't have paper and it had rock in the bottom, it works great for drainage. They were a little concerned of what was gonna happen with the water, but I told them that it would be fine. Amigos, here we are, almost getting close to the end result. Everything's looking great. The front, we already compacted it a few times. I already added water, letting it dry out so I can compact one more time and then give it the broom finish. Something I learned many years after starting Decomposed Granite. You guys can still see slight little edges when the machine come by, so I have to water it down, compact again, brush it off. You guys can see how I insert these pavers in there. I added a third one in between, but everything's supposed to make sense at the end, and that's how we do it out here, fellas. We're going to go into another quick hyperlapse of how we break one of the pavers and then replace it. Amigos, there we are. We're already done to the end. Everything's great. Everything looks perfect. Small little details, but we'll be back. Everybody gets a follow-up. Everybody gets a second chance. I tell them go ahead, mess it up, drive around, do your thing, water it, brush it, do whatever it takes, walk around, so anything that comes up, we'll make sure we replace it when we're whacked with it. And you guys can see little fine edges. We come back with the broom, finish them off, and if we have to compact again, we compact. We brush all the edges into these pavers, make sure that all this little loose stuff goes into the cracks, then we compact again. We replace that broken paver. You'll see the final thing here. But other than that, everything, like I said, went great. Thanks to the owners for all the video rights. This is our second job out here. I'll put a driveway, a DG driveway and a DG side driveway. So thanks to everybody that continues to watch our channel out here. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, so keep telling your friends so we can keep growing and get ready for the weekend trend. AUC, amigos.